Hello, Wow Tribe. This is the final part of our training series for leaders. So today, I know I talked about core values being one of my favorite topics. Another one of my favorite topics is purpose. So purpose, the thing that guides you, that governs you, the reason why your team comes together. So today we're going to talk about the purpose-driven team. Simon Sinek, one of my favorite thought leaders, thought changers, more like it. He says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And what you do simply proves what you believe. Simon Sinek, I'm going to talk about this video that he talks about how great leaders inspire action. In the past, I've been a business coach. As a business coach for 5 years, I had every single one of the entrepreneurs who I worked with watch that video. Purpose. So let's talk about purpose. When I say the word purpose, what's the first thing that comes to mind? There's purpose in the things that we do. There's a purpose why we wake up in the morning. There's a purpose for the businesses that we're carrying out. So what if we could articulate that? What is your purpose, so as a person, and what is your purpose as a business? And the reason I talk about purpose is hand in hand with core values. It's like above your core values. So imagine your purpose statement and then your 5 to 7, maybe your 3 core values beneath that. So your purpose is people know why they come to work. Yes, I've asked these questions of people before, like why do you come to work? Why do you care? And some people say, oh, to make a paycheck, to do this, to do this, to do this. And the teams that I see who work together most cohesively have a greater purpose. So I'm going to talk about a group who their purpose statement is to passionately make a difference. And they share that with their group. Now, when they hire people or when they're working together in their meetings, they know that at the core of what they do is to passionately make a difference. So whether that's spending an extra minute with a client or customer to enhance their day and make it better, whether it's interacting with their employees on the floor, they're in a production assembly line, so they have over 100 employees. And the way that I've seen it live out in their organization is seeing the president delivering inspiring messages to the workers and making sure that they connect with people one-on-one. So there's many ways that these purpose statements can play out, and it's how do you and your organization want to show up in the world? So purpose statement, I like to say, gives you a tingle. I know that there's many businesses, organizations out there that they have their mission and vision, and half the time people can't even tell you what they are. So it should give you a bit of a tingle, ignite a fire in you to want to do better, do more. I'd like to say, tap the emotion. It's almost like selling those goosebump moments. So when we work on this passion statement, is it something that people can really live into? Is it something that they can get behind? Again, this purpose statement is something that people should know. People should know your purpose statement and your core values off the top of their head. Makes you want to get it out of the bed in the morning. And while we talked about core values being your DNA, purpose is your compass. It guides you to where you want to go. So Simon, he talks about the golden circle. Why, how, and what. How many of us, for example, I'm going to think of someone who I know sells Rodan Fields. So my first experience with this person who sold Rodan Fields would say, I said, tell me about you. What's your business? And the first time I met them, they said, I sell Rodan Fields. We're a premium skincare company. And I was like, Okay. And so as I worked with this person a little bit, I asked them some further questions. And now today they say something along the lines of, I help women feel beautiful in their skin. See the difference? So right here at the core, she knows why she does what she does. I help why women feel beautiful in their skin by providing them with this skincare regime and company, and we all happen to have all these amazing products. So rather than saying I work for a premier skin company line, she says I may help women feel more beautiful in their skin. That's something that I want to know more about and get behind. So when we talk about that as an organization, you see how even just having that bit more purpose that you yourself and your employees can tap into, if you have that, again, I've seen time and time again, I promise you that people will buy more into what your bigger vision is for your team. Your meetings will become better. Your strategy sessions will become better. You start hiring people more who think alike and want to be part of your team. These are the foundations of creating team culture. So what I'm going to tell you to go do now is take a minute and Google How Great Leaders Inspire Action by Simon Sinek. You won't regret it. And watch it with your team. It's fantastic. So go ahead, treat yourself. I think it's like 17-minute long video. Go ahead and watch that and come back. So now that you've watched Simon, I want to take you through a little exercise. So this is something that you can do yourself. So you can find your own purpose statement, and then you can do it with your team. So what difference do we make in others' lives? Or what difference do I make in others' lives? So if you're having a hard time thinking about what that is, let's think about some stories. What are some reviews that people have said to you? What are some key words that people have said to you? So for instance, feedback that I get all the time is that people love my energy. So they're like, you're so energetic. When you walk into a room, you can change the energy and the outcome of the room. And I've started to own that. It took it quite a few times for me hearing it over and over and over again for it really to set in. So again, what difference do we make in others' lives? Maybe you're the person who thinks of everything. Maybe you really help people get a lot of things done in a day and they feel cared for. Maybe you are someone who is a devil's advocate and people come to you because you'll help them think things through. So why is it so important that you provide the product and service that you do? What difference does it make? People come to you because you make a difference in their life. Think about it. If you look around the room right now, everything in here was once a thought. And it has a purpose. So what is the purpose for you? What is the purpose for your team? Okay. What is the story of when you yourself as a person were on purpose? And what's a story of a time that your team was on purpose? So what does purpose mean to you? What is the difference that you're making in people's life? What are those tingle-worthy goosebump moments? Go ahead and reflect on them. A really fun thing to do is do this with your team. Perhaps get everyone to write these things down individually and then reflect on them in a storytelling time. This is a fantastic exercise to do in a team meeting. Give yourself up to an hour to do this with your team, depending on the size. And I think you'll really be surprised by what you hear back from your team and different stories of when people felt on purpose. I'm going to talk about a group that they provide interactive experiences for people. And they talked about a time when they felt really on purpose was someone was blind and they actually lived out the interactive experience for them describing it to them, making it come to life for them. And they felt super on purpose in being able to bring that to life for someone who couldn't necessarily experience it through one of their senses. So what are those stories for your team? Dig for them. It's quite amazing to celebrate these purposeful moments. So dig into those stories. When were you on purpose? And really encourage your team to own them. Because one of the greatest things I've seen is we're so humble. So this is an opportunity to own it and brag and just do it. You won't regret it. Again, I keep encouraging you to share in the group. I would love to hear your aha moments in the WOW tribe from this. Okay, so I'm going to give you some examples. Mine, because I know people are going to want to know mine, is purposeful connection. So connection has always been very important to me from the time I was little, and getting to know people and making real connections and having real conversations is really at the root of what I do. And that makes me able to, so my purpose is purposeful connection. It makes me able to help the leaders create the teams that like working together. So that's for me. Another one is pouring happiness. So maybe you're a barista and people come in and out every day. Do you consider how you can be a sunshine in someone's day? Yeah, you're pouring coffee. You also could be making a difference in someone's day. So pouring happiness. Canalta Hotels, I actually really love what they're about. I love their values. I love their hiring ads. So if you ever have a chance to see Canalta Hotels, go ahead and look at the way that they write their content for hiring. So one of their purpose statements when I was speaking with their president is creating smiles. So people know at the root of what they do is that they're creating smiles. So everything else they do is just a bonus to that. So how do they make their client experience the absolute best and create those smiles to create the best experience ever? So again, going back to Simon's video, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. They buy from a place of emotion. So the emotion is creating people smile. That's why they do what they do. Okay? So, and I really like NASA's. It's a bit longer. Reach for new heights and reveal the unknown for the benefit of humankind. I don't know about you, but some of these are tingle-worthy statements. Okay? And Travel Alberta, I just had to throw some of our local ones in here. They have their slogan of remember to breathe. And that, if you go and watch some of their videos, it's tingle-worthy because that's what their whole theme is about. Okay? So what is your purpose statement? If you're thinking through it, here's a little bit of a tip or a tool that you can use to help you. So fundamentally, why do you exist? Again, we might have some words coming up. So when you work with your team, pick out some of those keywords, circle them. You might start seeing words over and over again that are trending for you. So contribution and impact. The word contribution is an action word. Impact is the result. So if we were to think about it, I'm going to slip back here a slide. Contribution, action word, purposeful. So which for me, I know what purposeful means. Another contribution action word, pouring, creating, reach, okay? Remember. So these are all action words. And then we go to impact, which is the result. So connection, happiness, smiles, reveal the unknown for the benefit of humankind, breathe. So these are some of, remember to breathe is kind of a different one. But if you're thinking of what might a purpose statement for my team be, this is a good exercise to help get you on track. So if you're thinking of different words that you might want to put together, think of an action and a result word. Okay? Again, I want you to take this and think about how you put this into action. How does it play out with you? So we work with purpose guided by our values. Again, this ties right back into those core values. So I'm picturing something, a group I worked with, we did a day of purpose and core values work. They themselves took and made a beautiful document that people can have. They can have it on their phone as their backgrounds. They can have it hanging as posters on the wall. It's the first thing that you see when you walk in the door. They got the words, the cutout words as stickers and put them on the wall so people can see them when they walk in, okay? Maybe it's in their emails. I don't know. Get creative. How do you want them to show up? So again, like you do with your core values, with purpose, it shows up in your decision making, accountability, training, hiring and recruitment, extracurricular. How are you involved in your community? How do you make a difference? How do you bring your team together? It's involved in your conversation. Again, it's not just one thing. My biggest pet peeve is people do this work and then they file it and put it on a shelf or leave it in a document on their computer. How do you bring these things to life? That is my biggest action item for you to take away is how do I take this and put it into action, make it real and living so that my team owns it. So talk about that with your team. Again, it doesn't have to be on you. Ask your team the questions. How do we bring these to life? How does it look like in our organization? Again, remember, you don't have to have all the answers, and what does that feel like? So share this with your team. It's meant to be shared. So now, my call to action. What will you walk away and do with this? So don't make this another video that you watch. Make it a video that you go do. Make it an action. How will purpose live in and through you? Because we're put here for a purpose. We're in our business for a purpose. There's a reason why we get up every morning to go to this place. So now how do we unite everyone around it? Again, go into the WOW Tribe Facebook group. Share your ahas. I want to hear your purpose statements. We want to hear your purpose statements. So with that, we wrap up our leadership training series, and I hope that you're walking away self-aware, aware of who's on your team, know ways to co-create with them, have an understanding of your core values, and that's all united under a common purpose. So take care, leaders, and go out and go make a difference.